हेलो दोस्तों, बिगनर्स पॉइंट में आपका स्वागत है। और अभी हम कर रहे हैं आज की करंट अफेयर्स 14 नवंबर की। India's textile exports show resilience and diversification. Growth recorded in exports to 111 1011 countries. India's textile and apparel, including handicrafts exports, demonstrated remarkable resilience in the first half of fiscal year 2025-26 despite global headwinds and tariff-related challenges in major markets. India's global exports of textiles, apparel, and made-up grew marginally by 0.1% during April-September 2025 compared to the corresponding period in 2024. Some of the large export markets for India which clocked impressive growth rates were UAE 14.5%, UK 1.5%, Japan 19%, Germany 2.9%, Spain 9%, and France 9.2%. On the other hand, some of the other markets that recorded higher growth rates were Egypt 27%, Saudi Arabia 12.5%, Hong Kong 69%, etc. These 1011 market contributed USD 8,489.08 million during April-September 2025 compared to USD 7,718.55 million in the previous year, reflecting a 10% growth and an absolute increase of USD 770.3 million. This performance highlights the sector's adaptability and competitiveness in the face of global uncertainties. TB incidence in India drops by 21% from 237 per lakh population in 2015 to 187 per lakh population in 2024. India's TB incidence, where new cases emerging each year, reduced by 21% from 237 per lakh population in 2015 to 187 per lakh population in 2024, over almost double the pace of the decline observed globally at 12% as per the World Health Organization's Global TB Report 2025. India's innovative case-finding approach, driven by the swift uptake of newer technologies, decentralization of services, and large-scale community mobilization, has led to the country's treatment coverage to surge to over 92% in 2024, from 53% in 2015, with 26.18 lakh TB patients begin diagnosed in 2024, out of an estimated incidence of 27 lakh cases. Similarly, India's TB mortality rate has decreased from 28 per lakh population in 2015 to 21 per lakh population in 2024, reflecting significant progress in reducing deaths due to TB. This progress has been achieved through a strong government commitment, evidenced by a historic near tenfold increase in government funding to the TB program over last 9 years. Since its launch in December 2024, India's flagship TB elimination mission, the TB Mukt Bharat Abhiyan, has achieved extensive reach, screening over 19 crore vulnerable individuals for TB across the country, leading to the detection of over 24.5 lakh TB patients, including 8.61 lakh asymptomatic TB cases. The Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has also expanded nutritional support provided to TB patients. The direct benefit transfer under the Nikshe Poshan Yojana was increased from 500 to 1000 per month per patient for the entire treatment duration. Since its launch in April 2018, 4,406 crores have been disbursed directly into the bank accounts of 1.37 crore beneficiaries. Furthermore, to date, 677,541 individuals and organizations have enrolled as Nikshe Mitras and distributed over 45 lakh food baskets to TB patients, reflecting a strong and growing public-private community partnership in India's fight against TB. Cabinet approves Credit Guarantee Scheme for Exports (CGSE). The Union Cabinet, chaired by the Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, approved introduction of Credit Guarantee Scheme for Exports (CGSE) for providing 100% credit guarantee coverage by the National Credit Guarantee Trustee Company Limited (NCGTC) to member lending institutions (MLI) for extending additional credit facilities up to 20,000 crore to eligible exports. Sahitya Academy Bal Sahitya Puraskar 2025, the annual awards in the genre of children's literature. The Bal Sahitya Puraskar 2025 of the Sahitya Academy will be held on Friday, 14 November 2025 in the Triveni Auditorium, Tansen Marg, New Delhi. The awards will be presented by the President of the Academy, Mahadov Kaushik. The awardees shall receive a check for 50,000 each and a bronze plaque in recognition of their works. Cabinet approves export promotion mission to strengthen India's export ecosystem with an outlay of 25,060 crore. The Union Cabinet, chaired by the Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, has approved the Export Promotion Mission (EPM), a flagship initiative announced in the Union Budget 2025-26 to strengthen India's export competitiveness, particularly for MSME, first-time exporters, and labor incentive sectors. The mission will provide a comprehensive, flexible, and digitally driven framework for export promotion with a total outlay of 25,060 crore for fiscal year 2025-26 to fiscal year 2030-31. EPM marks a strategic shift from multiple fragmented schemes to a single outcome-based and adaptive mechanism that can respond swiftly to global trade challenges and evolving exporter needs. EPM is anchored in a collaborative framework involving the Department of Commerce, Ministry of MSME, Ministry of Finance, and other key stakeholders, including financial institutions, export promotion councils, commodity boards, industry associations, and state governments. Botswana to hand over eight cheetahs to India under Project Cheetah. Botswana will hand over cheetahs for translocation to India under Project Cheetah. This was announced during the joint press briefing at the end of bilateral talks between President Draupadi Murmu and her Botswana counterpart Duma Bako. The cheetahs will remain in the quarantine facility for some time before being translocated to India. Botswana will be donating eight cheetahs to India to assist in the regeneration of the cheetah's population in India. Project Cheetah is a unique initiative aimed at reintroducing cheetahs to India decades after their extinction. In September 2022, eight cheetahs from Nambia were translocated to Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh, followed by 12 cheetahs from South Africa next year. ICRA raises fiscal year 26 bank credit growth forecast on GST-led demand uptick. ICRA upgrades bank credit growth estimates on GST reforms with improved demand in retail and micro, small and medium enterprises (MSME) segments after goods and service tax GST rationalization. Rating agency ICRA said banks in India are expected to lend an additional rupees 50,000 crore, taking total credit expansion to rupees 19.5 to 21 trillion in the current financial year, fiscal year 2026. The robust offtake in the first half was driven by partial upfronting of demand from the third quarter Q3 fiscal year 26 to the second quarter Q2 fiscal year 26, given the early onset of the festive season supported by GST cuts. As a result, the incremental credit offtake in the second half H2 fiscal year 26 at the 9.4 to 10.9 trillion is expected to be flattish relative to the level in the H1 FY26. Both public and private banks are expected to maintain comfortable solvency and asset quality metrics through a slight rise in credit cost in anticipated in the second half H2 fiscal year 26. The fresh non-performing asset NPA generation rate for the full year is expected to be slightly higher than that seen in fiscal year 25. Consequently, gross NPAs are forecast to rise marginally in fiscal year 26 but stay within a comfortable range of 2.1 to 2.3%. This would translate into a modest increase in credit cost to about 0.7% in fiscal year 26 for the sector from 0.6% seen in the recent past. India's GDP likely grew 7.2% in Q2. Consumption, private consumption key driver, India RA. India Rating and Research has projected India's growth GDP to expand by 7.2% in the second quarter, July-September to fiscal year 26, driven primarily by a strong private consumption and a resilient services cost sector. The Indian economy had recorded a 5.6% growth in Q2 of FY25, while it clocked 7.8% growth in the April-June quarter of the current fiscal, the fastest pace in 5 quarters. India Rating estimates private consumption to have grown 8% year-on-year Q2 fiscal year 26 compared to 7% in Q1 and 6.4% in Q2 fiscal year 25. A favorable base effect, record low inflation, and steady rural wage growth are seen as major contributors to this uptick. On this investment front, the agency said demand grew 7.5% year-on-year during Q2 fiscal year 26, with steady government capital expenditure playing a key role in sustaining momentum and amid global uncertainty. Mahindra Manulife joins hands to establish 50-50 life insurance joint venture in India. Mahindra and Manulife joined hands to establish a 50-50 life insurance joint venture subject to regulatory approval, strengthening their existing footprint in India. Upon regulatory approval, the JV will expand on the collaboration between Mahindra and Manulife in India. Following the successful launch of Mahindra Manulife Investment Management in 2020, the total capital commitment from each shareholder is up to 3,600 crore, with each shareholder expected to invest 1,250 crore in the first 5 years. Following the signing, Mahindra and Manulife teams will work together to apply for an insurance license. Kotak Investment Banking acted as financial advisor and AZB and partners acted as legal counsel to Mahindra Group. India's life insurance industry recorded a sharp revival in October 25, with new business premiums rising 12.1% year-on-year to rupees 34,007 crores, marking the second straight month of double-digit expansion. The growth, though slightly below the 13.2% rise seen a year earlier, represents a strong rebound from 5.2% contraction in August 2025. DFS launches digital platform for startups to assess credit across all PSPs. The Department of Financial Services DFS Ministry of Finance on Wednesday launched the Startup Common Application Journey on the Jan Samarth portal during the Public Sector Bank PSB review meeting in New Delhi. The Startup Common Application Journey has been developed by the Indian Banks Association (IBA) in collaboration with PSB Alliance. The portal provides a signal digital platform for startups to assess credit across all PSBs. It enables them to apply for loans, compare offers, and track their applications seamlessly through a unified digital journey. Backed by a model loan scheme, this initiative provides loans up to rupees 20 crore under the government's credit guarantee scheme for startups. The platform integrates data sources such as PAN, GST, Udyam, ITR, and credit bureaus, ensuring faster processing and greater transparency. Special interest concessions are also extended to women entrepreneurs, further promoting inclusivity. India to become epicenter of oil demand growth by 2035, with import dependency hitting 92%. IEA. According to the IEA's World Energy Outlook 2025, by 2035, India will not only become the epicenter of global oil demand growth, surpassing China, but will also solidify its position as the leading exporter of transport fuels. On this flip side, import dependence of the world's third largest crude oil importer will rise to a whopping 92% by 2035. According to the IEA's World Energy Outlook 2025, India's energy demand growing at an annual rate of 3% through 2035 is the highest globally, which is supported by growing demand from households and industries. Oil and natural gas demand will increase 16% by 2035 and continue to rise through 2050. Their price will also generally rise over this period. Oil demand in 2050 is expected to be 113 million barrels per day, and natural gas demand is projected at 5,600 billion cubic meters (PCM). According to IEA, India will be largest contributor to growth in oil demand in this period 2025-2035, the second largest for electricity generation and coal demand growth. India oil is India oil use will increase from 5.5 MB per day in 2024 to 8 MB per day in 2035 as a result of rapid growth in car ownership, increasing demand for plastic, chemicals and aviation, and a rise in the use of liquefied petroleum gas for cooking. IEA expects gas demand in India to nearly double by 2035, hitting 140 BCM, which will be led by growth in its city gas distribution (CGD) sector. JSW Energy commissioned India's largest green hydrogen plant in Karnataka. JSW Energy has commissioned its first and India's largest green hydrogen manufacturing plant, marking a significant milestone in the nation's clean energy transition. The project is under the Production Linked Incentive Scheme Franchifan, strategically located adjacent to the JSW Steel facility at Vijayanagar, Karnataka. Under a 7-year offtake agreement with JSW Steel, the plant will supply 3,800 tons per annum (TPA) of green hydrogen, along with green oxygen of 30,000 TPA. This forms part of the company's 6,800 TPA allocation under the Strategic Interventions for Green Hydrogen Transition Site program by the Solar Energy Corporation of India (SECI). Additionally, the company has signed a memorandum of understanding with JSW Steel to progressively supply 85 lakh 90,000 TPA of green hydrogen and 72 lakhs TPA of green oxygen by 2030. These initiatives align with the company's sustainability vision and India's green hydrogen plant, approx 5 MTA per 5 MTPA by 2030. Gateway of Guwahati, first of its kind floating terminal inaugurated in Assam. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman inaugurated a riverine terminal said to be the first of its kind in India on the Brahmaputra in Guwahati. The Gateway of Guwahati Terminal and jetty, which she inaugurated, is a functional floating terminal constructed at a cost of rupees 304.95 crore by the Assam Inland Water Transport Development Society. It includes a terminal building with an integrated command and control center, observatory, launch, sewage treatment plant, and advanced fire safety systems. She also inaugurated the Brahmaputra riverfront in Guwahati, part of the Guwahati Smart City project, which will be promenade on 1.2 kilometer stretch of the riverbank. 6th India Veteran Army Exercise (VINBAX) starts off in Hanoi, Vietnam, and India have agreed that the Vietnam-India Bilateral Exercise 2025 (VINBAX 2025) is the most vivid demonstration of their substantive and effective defense cooperation, highlighting India as the only international partner to conduct annual field training exercise with Vietnam in United Nations peacekeeping. Under the theme Engineering Units in Coordination with Relevant Components in UN Peacekeeping Missions, VINBAX 2025 aims to enhance operational capacity, technical proficiency, and joint coordination among participating troops, building on the success of VINBAX 2024 held in India. This year's exercise marks the fourth field-based UN peacekeeping training between the two militaries. It carries important practical significance, further strengthening friendship, solidarity and mutual trust between the two sides. और इसके साथ करंट अफेयर्स हो जाती है समाप्त।